welcome to the very first episode of Off the Record. My name
Woo!
my name is Shawnee.
Hey everyone, my name is Amanda.
Hey there, everyone. My name is Kenise. And off the record, Shawnee,
How did we get here?
how did we get here?
What are we doing?
The crazy ideas.
What does it mean, off the record?
It means whatever you want it to mean. Think of
Unfiltered.
us, think of us as your unfiltered big sisters here to give you life advice, relationship advice, travel tips, anything under the sun. We're open to talking about it.
Right, right. And we're not going to forget the guys out there. So this is just isn't for the ladies out there. This is for the guys out there too. We're here to give you guys input from the side of the ladies.
Do you want to learn?
I hope they do. It's about time they did.
So how did we even get this off the record podcast idea going? Like, what was it really launched this for us? What'd you guys say?
I think it was when we did our last collaboration together. And with that project, we saw how much we gelled really well together. So we were like, why not? The wheels started turning and now we're here. We actually have an official background. Like, guys, check it out.
I think it's great because we have different perspectives. Like we agree in a lot, but then we also bring a different perspective based on our own upbringing, life stories. And I think this would be great for anyone just wanting an honest opinion. It's unbiased. It may not be what you want to hear, but it might be what you really need.
Right.
Yeah, and I think with time through all of the episodes that we have planned for you guys, you'll get to see us for all of our different personalities based
Yeah.
on the input that you'll hear. So we won't tell you exactly who we are right now, but I think it'll shine through soon enough.
And as we're evolving, as this podcast is going to evolve, you guys, the audience, you guys are going to evolve with us. You guys are going to grow with us. And that is what's going to make us very different, I think. Right. So what do you guys think? For me, I think what would make our podcast different from the millions of podcasts out there? Why should people listen to us? One, because we're totally different personalities here.
Yeah.
You're just not talking to one person managing the show and their podcast. You're listening to one voice. You're talking to three different voices here that bring so many unbiased, like Amanda said, opinions, thoughts, but we're also fun at the same time. But we're here to help you evolve and get better and bring value to your day-to-day life.
And I'm sure there's so much we're going to be able to learn from you because we are going to make this interactive. You're going to be able to send us in questions. We love a good question to kind of dive into it. It's a journey. It's a journey for us to grow together, just as human beings.
Yeah, and I guess on that note, journey, it's what, February? And I already feel like 2025 has been
over.
off.
It's done.
Happy New Year. Happy 2026, people.
Let's go.
The month of January felt so much. It felt like 5 years in one. I'm going to be very honest.
Really?
I felt like I lived 3 different lives in the month of January.
You had a rough January, eh, Shawnee?
I had enough.
I've had enough. I know. So I feel the same way. I have had enough. What I usually say, I tell people, my friends, when you have an off day, I just wish somebody would ask me, Kenise, do you want a sandwich? Because I'm always, so that's kind of a phrase that I use in my family and friends. Do you want a sandwich? I would just text my friend randomly, or people just come to my mind during the day because you just never know. You ever had somebody cross your mind? Yes. And you just I usually never let that go. I feel like they cross my mind for a reason because you just don't know what they're going through. And then in my little tribe, I would text them do you need a sandwich? Because I had a enough is enough breakdown. Last year, I came home one day and I was everybody's talking. Everybody wants Kenise for this, and Kenise needs to do this, and where's Kenise on that? And I'm nobody has stopped to ask what do I want? I remember not eating. And I think, Amanda, you said you didn't eat today, really. Did anybody stop to see if Amanda ate something? So it was just that was kind of my January. Do I need a sandwich? Yes, I need a sandwich.
I think we've all been there. I think we've all had those moments where, you just want someone to just think of you for once. When you're the catalyst of your tribe, right? Whatever that consists of, your friends, your family, both. your colleagues, and no one ever asked the person who's checking on everyone else if they're okay.
Right.
And
Right.
I feel like that's so important. I can see why you had enough. I can see why you had that moment.
And
I
I
feel like
just,
we sorry, but I think we forget about the strong person. You're such a strong woman, and I think you carry so many different roles in your life, very important and big roles. That's not even including your job, but just everything else. And because they see you as the strong one, it's like, well,
right.
she's a person too.
Well,
So
I think
that's my enough is enough story, because I'm just like, I was just done. So anyway, sorry, Shani.
no, you're totally fine. And I think it's important for everyone to realize that we're human. I feel like as women, we have to put up such a strong front for a lot of aspects of our lives,
Mhm.
especially when it comes to being in the workforce. Especially if you have some type of like leadership role, you do have to have a certain demeanor. It comes with the territory. And that's all fine and dandy, right? But sometimes, when you go home and you kick off the heels and you just want to decompress, and people are still expecting you to give, 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 give,
Right. Right.
it becomes a lot.
Right. Right. And I think we're all people that put our hair up when we go home, right? Most people put their hair down. Do you guys
Oh
put
no,
your
it goes
hair up?
up.
I think it was one time, I think we were working on something, some project or something together, and it was running really later into the evening. And I think I had had enough that night. And I threw my hair up in like a messy
But
bun.
right.
And then I remember you, Kenise, you were like, "Oh, do you do that?" And I'm like, "Do what?" I didn't even realize that I did it. It was just like out of instinct. But yeah, like when the hair goes up in a messy bun, my shoes come off and I'm like slouched. I'm like, I'm done.
I hear you. I hear you. So enough is enough. I think that's going to be our first topic that we want to talk to everybody about today. So our enough is enough moment. So I think I shared about my sandwich moment a little bit, because that was it for me. How to balance myself, and this year I said I was going to get rid of dead weight people. So I have to say, second month in the year, well, third month, because this is the month of March, third month in the year, I I want to be able to continue to let dead weight off. So, for instance, for example, I've had enough of people, when I text you or I call you and you don't respond in a timely fashion. I'm not talking about colleagues, and I'm talking about like my family, my friends. Um, if I'm reaching out to you, like, hey, how are you? Is everything like, whatever, just a simple like, hey, are you good for dinner? And you don't respond in like 24 hours. I feel like I'm not going to respond to you when you text me back, like, can you say, do you need X, Y, and Z? Like, is that a bad thing? Because that's my enough is enough moment this year, that I was just like, I'm sick and tired trying to be on top of people all the time to make sure that they're following up, and they don't really respect that.
I think it's twofold. I think there's twofold to look at this. I think that if you're noticing a pattern with certain people and them not getting back to you, respecting your time and your thought and your energy to even pick up the phone and shoot them a text or a call, I think, yes, of course you would take it personal. That's always like our first instinct, oh, they don't want to talk to me, or they don't care to respond to my communication. But I think what I've learned is that people can only meet you as far as they can only meet themselves. And I think that I've also had those moments over the past couple of years where you would check in with people. You notice it's really one-sided.
Right.
And it's not fair, it's not nice. And I realize that people, sometimes they just can't meet you where you are. And that could be, for their own personal reasons, right? Um, Communication is definitely something important if you care about your relationships, friends, family,
Mm-hmm.
romantic. But I feel like if someone is just like not able to show up for themselves, they're definitely not going to be able to show up for any other relationship that they have in
Mm-hmm.
their life. And you know what the sad thing is, I noticed with these people is that once they do get it together, once they get out of their funk or, whatever issues they're going through, and they do reach back out, most times we don't even care because
Very
there was no
true.
communication. You didn't even tell me what was happening.
But here's the thing though, like I'm the person when you reach back out, like I am dying to just respond to you and like start throwing
Same
everything back into
here.
that relationship. And I'm struggling with exactly what Kenise is talking about.
Same.
Letting go and just letting people be like, okay, hey, you didn't respond. It's okay. And be okay if they text you like a year later, like, hey, how's it going? But I can't like, and I'm gonna respond, but like, how do I break that? Like, I don't know. Tell
You
me, teach
just,
me.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't feel the same. I don't know. I just feel like everyone goes through different seasons of their lives and, not to really take it so personal, but at the
Mm.
same time, take it personal. Um,
But that's like that's hard to do, Shawnee. Like, how do you not take it personal, but in the same time take it personal? That like
I think if someone cares enough to respond back to your text or call, right away, obviously that's someone that you prioritize high in your life, right? Because they're making the time for you, you're making the time for them. But if someone is really like a pattern of them like not being so great at communicating, there's lapse in times that you guys don't talk to each other, then I
right.
think that shows you, the person that cares about the relationship, where you fall in that totem pole. And
Mhm.
it is a hard pill to swallow sometimes where unfortunately, you have to kind of just rank those people, a
Right.
little lower on your totem pole. And I'm not saying that you have to cut people off. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be the end all be all,
Right.
right? You don't have to make an enemy out of anyone for
No, I didn't cut them off. I think I came to the place where New Year's, like Happy New Year, and everyone was like shouting and kissing everybody Happy New Year at that brink of 2025 when we moved over from 24 to 25. I said to myself, I'm not going to take it personal because I'm just like Amanda. I think, when somebody texts me, I feel it's just respectable. Like, even if I don't get to the text, I'm in a meeting or, I'm like in the middle of driving or something, I'm going to get back to you because I feel you're important to me, Shawnee. You're important the same way Amanda's important. So I will get back to you, whether we're friends, whether, it's like something professional that I'm working on. I just value other people's time,
Right.
and so I feel, and the fact that they reached out to me. So I value that. That's important in my life. So that is my enough is enough moment that triggered the first 3 months of this year. And I think I've done very well. One person in particular, like I would text this person, literally would not respond for days, weeks. And this is like, I need updates like now, like I need an update like now. And so now the person texts me and I feel bad. I do wait like a full day without responding to them because now I'm like, you know what? I don't need to go the extra mile. I feel like I used to go the extra mile for people who didn't reciprocate that. So I'm reciprocating it with people who want to reciprocate it. What about you, Amanda? Like, what's your moment where you're like, this is it, enough is enough?
So it's kind of like somewhat related. There was an instance back in January. A friend of mine contacted someone else that I know, and she's known to that person as well, to invite them to something she decided to do. And the reaction she received from the other person was not a nice one, right? And when she's telling me this, I'm like, I'm so surprised. Like that's like, the reaction. But then I stopped and I started thinking about it because I started to spiral and go back in like in the past. I'm like, wait a second. After I played the conversation over, I'm like, oh, this person is thinking like I am not including them in something. And in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, the person who even reached out to you did that upon themselves. They took it upon themselves to do this. Like there's so in my head, I start thinking, oh my God, this person's gonna be mad at me. Like, what's gonna happen? I value because my friend had asked me, is like, who would you like to be a part of this? I gave the people. I was like, oh my God, I would love for this person to be there.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
All for it to, when I start thinking about it, it's going to be like, oh my God, Amanda didn't ask me to do this. Amanda didn't ask nobody to do this. Like, come on. Amanda's here talking about all the stuff that she got to do. And somebody said, you know what? I got you. I'm going to do that for you. And I was like, honestly, thank you. And now
Yeah.
I sit here and I almost panic because like I'm like, oh my God, is this relationship now ruined again? Is this going to be one of those things where you ghost me for years, or you're going to give me those one-liner answers, and maybe 3 years down the line we'll kind of patch up again? Because this has happened
Mm-hmm.
before.
I mean, why do you even want that person in your life? Mind
I
you,
know. I was gonna say, why are you still friends with this person?
I have no idea who you're talking about, by the way, but
No, no, no clue.
I guess as you know, a fellow big sister, why do you even want this person in your life? They seem like they're very temperamental. Who wants to walk on eggshells around people?
So that's exactly it, Shawnee. Like and I'm not gonna lie, I low key do. But I value this person because of our history. I love this person. Like I want the best for this person, but I don't understand why things are taken personally. Like that situation, like if like what I would do, I would reach out to like my friends, like, hey, what's up with this person asking me to do this? Why do you didn't come to me? I would tell you because I value that friendship. But now, like, I guess my enough is enough moment is the fact that how much longer am I going to continue doing
Well,
this?
the thing is that does she value your friendship?
Right
Oh,
there.
Because you're
how?
saying I value the friendship. I love this person. We have history together. But just because you have history together with a person, this is what I've learned. And then just because you value that person, not, again, the reciprocating, the person is the feeling mutual.
And that's the hard truth. That is really, again, a really, really, it's something when it's apparent and in your face to that degree. Un I personally, Amanda, I wouldn't want someone like that so close to me.
That
Just
sounds
be
like an acquaintance rather than a friend.
it sounds like it's a draining relationship at that. It sounds draining. And do you want to walk the rest of 2025 with
Mm,
people by your side that are draining your energy in
mm,
a negative way?
mm.
I don't think
Question to
so.
ponder.
That is something to
Ponder.
ponder.
Ponder moment.
And you know what? I even found myself like itching to even talk to the person. Like I was like, let me reach out. Then
You're like an addict.
I am like an addict. I'm like, oh my God. I'm
Because
like,
she's a peacemaker. She wants to make peace. She want, I can see that, right?
I do want to make peace. I really value this person. And you're right. Maybe I am holding on to like the history. But I guess I'm just at the point in my life. I'm like, and I think my health scare last week is what made me like, oh my God, your life can change in an instant. Do I really need to be worried about somebody's feelings? Like if you care about me as much, you can just say to me, I'm approachable. Hey, what's up with this? Like I shouldn't always have to be the person to consider everyone's feelings every single moment.
And nor should you have to teach people that skill. I feel like what Kenny said, how does that person value your presence in their life? It really is eye-opening, especially when there are big positive things happening for you, right? I think when big and positive things are happening for you, take a look around your circle. That's when you take a look around your circle and you see who's there to really show up for you, show out for you, is genuinely happy for you. And the people that are being selfish, doing things that are not of benefit for you for your moment, then I think that that's not something sustainable to keep around.
I agree. And I mean, it just made me like think about like, I can't continue like this.
Right. So
And
are you
And
going to make that your enough is enough for 25?
yeah, I think I need to be a little stronger. I am a peacemaker and I am like, okay, how can we do it? Like, how can we work together? But I think this is one time I'm still that person, but I can't be the one, like to your point, Kenise, always reaching out. I
Right.
can't always be that person. So
Right.
I guess I have to
Right.
swallow the pill. It is
Yeah,
what it
it
is.
is
swallow the
what it is.
pill, drink some water with it, have it go down a little bit smoother. There you go. You can do
Yeah,
it.
and we're in the third quarter of the year. So already, like Shawnee said, the year is almost done. We're like, Happy New Year, happy 2026. What about you, Shawnee? Like, what do you feel like?
My enough is it was funny because I felt like my enough is enough moment started in 2024.
Wow,
I
a
know.
long process.
I know. And I may come across as someone that's really tough, like exterior wise. And,
Mhm,
here
mhm.
I am giving Kenise advice. Oh, you don't need that person. Cut him off.
Yeah.
But I'm a really soft girly inside, deep down. I am soft. Um, but I feel like my enough is enough moment was stretched out over the
Mm,
course of a longer time than I would like to admit on this podcast. And I think my final breaking moment was in January. It felt like it drained my life. And I think my problem was is that people will mistake your kindness for weakness.
mm,
Mm,
And that is when you will see a different side of me because I
mhm,
don't like to lead being not a nice person. I feel like anyone who meets me in person, I'm happy-go-lucky, I'm very bubbly, nothing's ever that serious because it's life, we're only here once.
right.
But the moment that you get me out of that, the moment that you mistake all my kindness, all my sunshine, rainbows, and butterflies for weakness,
I'm sorry. Are you talking about yourself here? I just want to make sure this is not like your alter ego.
the moment that happens, I will switch. I will switch like a flip. And what did I say?
you're gonna switch like
I
a
don't know. What is like a
Flip
flip
like
like
flip?
a
a switch.
switch.
And
Okay.
I get it too.
Maybe we should say that line again.
The moment you get me like that, I will. God, I
Switch
can't
like a
even get the
flip.
line.
She's gonna switch like a flip.
Found a
Flip.
fish.
I'm gonna flip my switch.
That's right. Flip my, maybe that's our next podcast coming up in our third quarter.
I think so. I think so. But I mean, ladies, like, I just feel like how could you take advantage, right,
Right.
of really kind people, really genuine people, and really, really just like not value them, value their presence in your life. I don't get that thought process.
When
Anyone that
you're
feels like the sun for me, I want to keep extremely close.
when you're doing like when like how could they not value you? Same as like Amanda, when you're giving them, all this everything about you.
Right, right. What's up with that?
I don't know. That's a great, I think that's a great question. Like, what's up with that?
Like, if I really sat down, and I think this is like, if you really sit down and you think about your relationships in your life,
Yeah,
family, friends,
right.
romantic, whatever your relationship is, and you think
Yeah,
about how much Kenise, like you said, you prioritize people,
right. But that's
you
exactly what I did. I
you
did
go out of
an
your way for
assessment.
people. You're thinking about people, and then
Hmm.
for them to not even give you that like that second
Hmm.
thought, it
Hmm.
really it's hurtful. Um, but I think at the same time, it's just like, well, why would I want a person like that to continue to suck the energy out?
Right. Right. I love how all of us talked about like the human aspect and human relationship side where we're saying enough is enough. Nobody said like enough is enough. I'm not accepting this paycheck anymore. I need to make more money, or enough is enough. I need to go get my master's degree. Like none of us did that. We all, because we didn't talk about this topic really like sharing our
Right.
enough is enough moment. But as we were all talking, I'm like, nobody said enough is enough. Like I'm sick and tired of living in this small apartment and I need a 16-bedroom house. Enough is enough. Like we didn't do that. We went right to
Enough is
relationship.
enough. I don't need any more money.
Yeah, right.
Because I think this is what's draining us. Like we can do
Very true.
anything else, but this one is what's kind of like it's hard for us to do, and we know it.
Right.
We're calling each other out on on it, and hopefully this holds us accountable.
Yeah, I feel like it's really funny when you take a look at all of our moments. It's really people related.
Right.
It's
But I think
interesting.
that's what this podcast is really too about, because we're building a community and I think Amanda, like you said it a little bit there, we're all humans and we need each other to make it in this world. So why do people listen to a podcast? Why do people relate to people they never met before? Like we follow people on TikTok and Instagram and whatever platforms else is out there. I don't know. Like, why do we connect to these people? We don't connect to a house. or we don't connect to a school like that. You know what I mean? Like we connect, we're built for relationships, and we're built to help one another. But also, I think in the same vein, you get to a certain age in your life. And I think this should happen, like this should be taught, like parents should teach this to their children because they go through this in school, right? For all like the moms and dads out there with kids who are like trying to be friends with somebody in, you know, that friend group, and then nobody wants to be friends with them, but they're trying their best to fit in. You know, you remember those days, right?
No.
No, okay. I didn't have friends.
Aw.
I should have kept it the same way. No friends. That's the way to go, everybody. That's our advice.
No,
You don't
no
have any
friendship.
friends.
Just live solo. You'll be fine. Save
Yeah,
yourself the
solo.
heartache.
Travel solo, make your money solo, buy your house solo.
You'll be less disappointed. End of episode.
But that's just it. None of us truly want that. We want that community, right? We
Right.
want somebody we can lean on because we aren't always strong. We don't, and even though we try to be strong all the time, I think sometimes we just want people to meet us where we are. And that's like kind of like what we're doing here. We want to build a community where we can meet people where they are
Right.
and just have honest conversations.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're going to share our email, right? I think with everybody to let them know, since it's our first podcast. So you guys, we want to hear your enough is enough moment, and maybe you'll be a guest on our show. Maybe one of us will read your story. Obviously, we'll keep it anonymous unless you want us to like say your name. But yeah, right. What do you guys think about that? We should give everybody a chance to do that.
Yes, absolutely. Share your thoughts, if you need advice, write into us. We're gonna put our email address in the comment section, so feel free to go ahead and reach out to us. But we're excited. We want to hear from you. We want to hear how we can help you, right? We're here to build that community. We want to make sure that, your voices are heard. What's going on with you guys? Is there anything that you feel needs more spotlight on? We're here we have the platform, and we want to continue to share our voice and yours as
Right.
well.
Right. I'm just curious, like this just came out of nowhere, but I know we didn't plan for this one, but like I'm just curious, like, so why did we all decide to wear what we're wearing?
Ooh.
Ooh. Mine isn't deep. It was right there on the
But
back.
that's deep right there. I think that's deep right there. And I think that's important because that's important. Like it
My
was right
honest thought process was like, oh my God, what am I gonna wear right now? And I saw this like just like laying there. I was like, oh, it's green. Green is prosperity. I'll wear that.
No,
Isn't that
that's
crazy?
deep.
That
That's
is
very
deep.
deep.
That's exactly, because it's so weird because I have this sitting, like I have like a bench by my bed. So this has been sitting there since Christmas because I meant to wear it just one more time. Like I wore it like maybe in like ending of November, and I was like, I'll wear it again before Christmas or whatever. And then I'll put it up in the closet, take it to dry cleaners. And then I went into my room, the same thing. And I was like, ooh, green, prosperity means money. Yes, this is what I'm going to wear. That's why I chose it. And I do like bling. I do like bling. I like a little extra.
Yes. Yes, you guys will get to see Kanisa's the blingy one out of all of
Bling.
us.
Not too blingy, but I just like a hint of bling.
I no real deep process for me. This is like a very chill top that I own. I actually it is a little deep. When I look at this top, I think I wear this when I want to be casual, when I just want to be very myself, very just chilled out. And I knew I was coming on today's first episode, and I was like, you know what? In my mind, I'm going back, should I dress up? Should I really like show up and show out? And I was like, no, I want to be myself.
Right.
I want the audience to look at me and just think like, wow, this is Shawnee. This is who she is. This is who I am. This is me on like the weekend. Catch me at Costco looking like this.
Is
But,
that
this
what
is
is that? What
very
brand
chill.
is it? Is it Lululemon? What is it? Nike, Puma, Adidas?
This is Adidas.
Adidas. Okay. Do you guys have preferences with that? I'm just curious because if anybody wants to sponsor us, we'll take your sponsorship right now. Just put that
Ooh.
out there right now.
So I guess on that note, we have no preference. We're open to
We're willing participants.
I'll wear whatever, whoever wants to sponsor us.
All right. Well, great. Anything else? I think I just want to just say I am just really happy to be here with the audience and really inspired to help inspire everybody else who's going to be listening as we continue to grow and evolve here at Off the Record podcast.
Off the record. This was really fun, guys. I'm so happy we got our first episode out the way. But yeah, looking forward to growing this platform more, hearing from you guys, and of course, chatting with some of my favorite ladies.
Of course. Thank you.
It's gonna be a good one. I know the year started off rough. We'll make it a good one because now we have a community.
Yeah.
That's
So I
right.
guess on that note, stay tuned for episode 2. We're diving into a really juicy
Ooh, yeah.
topic. We were actually planning this out, and I said, yes, this is the one. This is the one that
All right.
people
All right. I'm
are
looking forward
gonna
to
want to
that.
tune into. So, guys, I guess we'll catch you at episode 2.
Yeah.
See you next time.
Bye.